Donald Trump just shut down trade talks with Canada, and all because of one ad. An ad from Ontario's government that quoted Ronald Reagan, slamming Trump's tariffs and reminding Americans of their old free trade values. Trump fired back, claiming Reagan never opposed tariffs, a claim that's not just false, but desperate. Now he's caught rewriting history to save face. And Mark Carney, he's not backing down. Canada's Prime Minister called out the lie, calmly, clearly, and stood firm in the face of Trump's outrage.
Good morning, I'm Matt Scooby. This is CTV News Channel. Thanks for being with us. We start with U.S. President Donald Trump abruptly terminating all trade negotiations with Canada over an anti-tariff ad paid for by the province of Ontario. It's been airing on most major networks in the United States. Here is a bit of that ad.
High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars.
The Ontario government paid $75 million for the ad that features the voice of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan from a radio address back in May of 1987. And earlier this morning, Trump posting once again about the ad, doubling down in a way, saying Canada got, quote, cheated and got caught. Trump goes on to claim that Canada fraudulently said that Ronald Reagan did not like tariffs, which Trump claims he loved, even also claiming that Canada was trying to illegally influence the upcoming Supreme Court ruling on Trump's tariffs as well.
And this is where Trump's narrative falls apart. He claimed Ronald Reagan never opposed tariffs, that the conservative icon backed his protectionist crusade. But the truth is on tape. In 1987, Reagan warned that tariffs were nothing more than a hidden tax on the consumer. His words, on camera, directly contradict Trump's claim. No spin, no debate, just fact. So when Trump tried to bend history to fit his trade war, he wasn't honoring Reagan, he was rewriting him. That's why the Ontario ad hit so hard. It didn't attack with opinion, it hit with Reagan's own voice. It showed that facts don't fade, and Trump got caught rewriting a legacy the world still remembers.
So, look, if you're to take his social media posts over the past 12 hours or so at face value, this move to terminate the negotiations is all about the ad. You got to keep in mind now that his posts about the ad are littered with falsehoods. He calls it fraudulent for saying that Ronald Reagan did not like tariffs, that he actually loved tariffs. He calls it fake in all caps, even though the ad uses Reagan's own words from a radio address. And Trump repeatedly attributes the ad to Canada rather than Ontario. But hey, in Donald Trump's history of saying things that aren't true, that's probably pretty small potatoes. Still, he did specifically say that what he called Canada's egregious behavior is why he was terminating the talks.
Let's call it what it is. This move by Trump isn't about trade, it's about ego. For weeks, pressure has been mounting in Washington. His tariffs flopped, his threats fell flat, and every attempt to pin down Mark Carney only made Canada more resilient. The Ontario government's ad? That wasn't an attack, it was a truth bomb. It told Americans what their president won't. Tariffs are taxes, and they're hitting U.S. workers, not helping them. Canada didn't fold. It exposed the cost of Trump's strategy. So when Trump walked away from the table, it wasn't a power play, it was a quiet admission. His leverage is gone, and Canada isn't playing defense anymore.
Yeah, something slightly different here coming from Kevin Hassett. He's the director of Trump's National Economic Council, a very senior advisor to the president. He was speaking to reporters outside the White House this morning, and he was asked why the trade talks with Canada were called off. He said that Trump is frustrated with Canada and that it's not just about the ad. Take a listen.
I think the frustration has built up over time. I've been involved in some of these negotiations, and the Canadians have been very difficult to negotiate with. And you look at all the countries around the world that we've made deals with, and the fact that we're now negotiating with Mexico separately reveals that it's not just about one ad, that there's frustration that's built up.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Just hours after Trump's announcement, Mark Carney delivered a single line that echoed across diplomatic circles. He didn't name Trump, but the message was unmistakable. The 1980s were a different time. U.S. trade policy used to reflect shared prosperity. It was subtle, sharp, and deliberate. Carney didn't need to point fingers. The contrast was clear. Reagan believed in building alliances. Trump thrives on breaking them. And in that moment, Carney made Canada's position clear. Our future won't be built around a neighbor who treats trade as a political weapon.
We can't control the trade policy of the United States. We recognize that that policy has fundamentally changed from the policy in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. And it's a situation where the United States has tariffs against every one of their trading partners to different degrees. And it's in that context that our officials, my colleagues, have been working with their American colleagues on detailed, constructive negotiations, discussions on specific transactions, specific sectors, steel, aluminum, and energy. And a lot of progress has been made. And we stand ready to pick up on that progress and build on that progress when the Americans are ready to have those discussions, because it will be for the benefit of workers in the United States, workers in Canada, and families in both of our countries. Now,
Carney's message couldn't be clearer. Canada isn't here to play second fiddle in anyone else's campaign drama. Not Trump's, not his commerce team's, and not any leader trying to script our economic future. Under Carney's leadership, Canada has expanded trade ties with Europe, India, Japan, and now potentially China, building bridges where others burn them. So if Trump wants to storm out of negotiations, let him. Canada will keep moving forward with partners who respect fairness, not fear. While Trump's team tries to spin retreat as strength, it's clear he didn't walk away victorious, he walked away cornered. And as his falsehoods unravel, Carney's calm, fact-driven strategy continues to elevate Canada on the global stage. If you believe Canada should lead with strength and truth, not noise, make sure you subscribe now. The next chapter in this economic showdown is just beginning, and you won't want to miss a moment.